Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. What's up? This is Asada, and you're tuned in to Gathering of the Griots once again here on a Tuesday morning. Want to say welcome. But before we get into today's wonderful show, I love my guest. I adore my guest. We are going to pay homage first to the female solution because it is why we are here. So let's take a look.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right, so we're back, and I am happy to say I am elated today. Before we get to our guests, it is Tuesday, so you know what that means. That means hashtag Title Tuesday. That's what we celebrate. We celebrate all of the titles that will be at the book fair August 9th coming up this summer. Let's start off with Not All Frogs Are Green. Yes, indeed, children's books in the mix by Mia Dawson and Brenda Major. Next, we have Compelled to Murder by E. Ray Turanek. And next, Another Great Day. If you know Ernest Abdullah, you know that saying, another great day. So he'll be at the event on August 9th as well. Hashtag Title Tuesday. Happy day to you. Consequences by Fanny Price. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday. Y'all got to say that fast and see if you can do it. Next, Freedom to Engage by Michelle Yisrael. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. In each moment, hashtag Title Tuesday. Happiness to you. Again, Michelle Yisrael. Pilot Pup Penny. Children's book. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to my girl, Peggy Colbert. And Reba's Big Spring Festival. Also, happy Title Tuesday to you too. Now, my girl, Penny Jack, brings us her Jackie Gets a Bath. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. And happy hashtag Title Tuesday to Your Voice, Your Tool by Sandra L. Washington. What else do we got? Oh, Sis, It's All About You by Shelly Asul. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. We're bringing it from Japan from my man Taquan Amaru. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. Gaikojin, The Story, Book 3. Don't get it twisted. It's a trilogy. And One Dead Doctor. That's a whole series too by Tony Lindsay. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. Good books. We got some good books coming. And lastly, Life After Adultery. Oh, yes, indeed, by Chalita Faye. Happy hashtag Title Tuesday to you. And so, you guys, we are here today to say yay to those titles, and we're glad to have them. But I got something we've all been waiting for, and I think I want to start it like this. Let's start it like this. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Patience, and I am the published photographer of Urban Girl Adventures. My book is about different ways to travel in the city, and you can find me and my book on July 16th, 2016 at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. See you there!
Did y'all see the baby? 2016, you know, that was our first year, right? That was our first year in operation for the book fair. And so without further ado, years later, coming to the stage, somebody who, oh my God, I was so nervous all night, just ready to have this interview. Let's bring her on. My baby Patience. Yay! Hi, Patience.
Hello.
Do y'all hear that maturity? She said, hello. I was so nervous all night. I was like, what am I going to say to my daughter? I don't know. But thank you for getting up this early in the morning, my darling. It is very much appreciated. And I guess I want to start by, let's your title going on up here. Let's put a little Patience title going on because she is a published photographer. I want to just ask because you did the little commercial for the book. Do you remember how this all started? Like how your coming up with the book started?
I remember knowing I wanted a way to make money, and then you telling me the whole way to make money is that I could make a book. That's pretty much it.
Now, so that's the condensed version, you guys. Clearly, that's a true story. Patience wanted to make money. And I was an author. So I was like, well, you can make a book. We know how to do that. But I was going to hire a photographer. And one day I was just like, why don't I just teach her how to do it? And that was like the beginning of her photography career. Like, so what do you remember most about that time and taking pictures at that age?
Um, Not much, but like I remember taking the camera on the train and stuff and taking pictures on the buses and pretty much wherever we went to get content for the book.
Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm a momager, okay? I'm a momager. That means I'm always in the mix, right? What we had T-shirts, banners, like all of these things, and talk a little bit about the purpose of the book, Patience, in terms of our concept when we thought about the book that you would make. What would it do? How would it be received by other young kids? All of that.
Pretty much the concept is just to show how to get around the city, different ways to travel in the city, and teaching children different ways they can travel. Because not everybody uses a car, especially not in New York City. So these are just ways to learn how to travel around the city.
Right. And at that time, I'm not too sure if she remembers, she was in the second grade when this came out. And so they were studying transportation and they were studying series of books. And so we actually got the concept from that because why not? Oh, look at that, Paige. Oh, she was such a happy little 7-year-old girl. And when I say I was a momager, we were talking, I'm talking about book signings, I'm talking about t-shirts, making sure, and you can see she's getting a little older in these pictures. You're going to see her at different ages because this book started when she was 7 years old. Now, I don't know if you remember this, Patience, but do you remember, was there any feedback from like your peers at that age when you were 7 coming to school with a book that was talking about transportation or whatever? Do you remember any feedback by your peers at that time?
I don't think feedback necessarily, but I think like comments like, "Oh wow, you have a book," stuff like that.
Okay. Now that is huge for adults. I'm telling y'all because I used to be showing it off in bookstores and doing all kind of stuff. But I used to tell when I used to tell children that you had a book, they would be like, "She's an author. She's a book." Now let me ask you: did you find? Because I ended up teaching you how to take pictures with the camera. Do you remember any of it being hard or feeling like I can't do this?
Um, no, not really. I feel like I've always thought that being a photographer was in my blood since, I mean, we come from a line of photographers. So it wasn't really hard. I mean, I think I just have an eye for photography. So yeah.
This is true. This is very true. You do have an eye. And later in the show, guys, we'll get to that. We'll get to looking at some of her current work. But I want to kind of deal with some of what happened with the book because, I mean, you were a lot of different places. Do you remember what it was like being at shows like this? This was like one of the expos and having your book and being ready and children buying your book. Do you remember what that felt like at all?
Yeah. To me, I mean, it was just like kind of regular to me since we went to a lot of expos and stuff. I just remember carrying the bookshelves on the trades and stuff. That's what I remember.
The toil, the labor and the toil of doing the book fair and just doing these different events. Now these pictures are in New York City, so that means we were basically in New York City when she was doing the book and promoting it and doing these events. But I also took you on trips with me. Do you remember where this is? Where?
Yes.
Come on.
It's Old Dominion University.
Okay. And basically, I was there doing a speaking engagement, but I'm an entrepreneur. What we doing? We're going to promote my girl. So that was one of the professors who purchased one of her books. And you can see how little she was there selling her book on the university campus at festivals. Now, we weren't set up at this particular festival, but basically, you don't go nowhere without that book. Now, we made sure we had that book on deck, let it be known. And do you remember this? And I keep saying this, guys, because Patience is 21 now. And a lot of these things were when she was 7 years old, right? But she even got interviewed for this magazine for this school, and they featured her as one of these, look, it says exclusive urban girls. Oh, girl. And they talked about, what she was doing with her book and what have you. And I just loved that. So some of these that you're going to see, these are from Chicago. This is once we came to Chicago, actually. You were like 11 years old, but still, working with the book and what have you. And do you remember this moment? This was an event with a lot of children, and I think you did a reading. Do you remember anything about this event?
Yeah, I remember it. Not super vividly, but like I remember there were blue cupcakes and I was eating blue cupcakes. And yeah,
I
remember I was wearing like really, really high heels for my age for some reason, but I can walk in them. So
that's right. Don't get it twisted. She was a fashionista, and she did a reading to young people. And look at the girl next to her, looking at you in adoration. Wow, she's an author. So yeah, I think, not that kids were like, oh my God, she's Beyonce. But I like that you were in a position to make an impression on young people and to have your own book at that age. The thing I think is interesting, and this is a little Chicago and a little New York. The thing I think is interesting is your exposure to being an entrepreneur. Was this kind of normal hat for you, or was it like, why are we selling these books, or is it something that became normal to you?
I mean, it was never like, why are we doing this? Why are we selling these books? Because I mean, since you are an entrepreneur, that's pretty much all I've seen. So it's not really new information or like knew how to do it. I kind of just already knew.
Okay, guys, you hear that? Entrepreneurship. If you just be it, they'll be it. It's not a big, heavy thing. And the thing about being in Chicago, now that I do the Soulful Chicago Book Fair, she handles the whole booth. Can you talk about what that's like? Because I pretty much leave her at the booth because I'm doing so many other things, but that means she's selling her books, but she's also selling my books and having to talk. What is that experience like other than belaboring?
I mean, it's kind of second nature at this point. So it's like, it's just pretty much what I know. I mean, it's selling the book I've been selling for years. So it's kind of second nature, and it is belaboring. It's a lot going on, but I mean, yeah, it's not that difficult for me, at least.
Okay, now this picture I love. Talk about what's happening in this picture.
This is from my webisode, and we were just filming for that. I remember doing a good amount of takes, just getting this shot. I remember, but yeah.
So you guys, Patience has a webisode, and that's basically a video version of her book. So of course I'm going to show it. Let's show the webisode. It's less than 10 minutes. So let's just have a ball and experience it.
Hey guys, over here. Down here.
Look at all of these people in cars. This is actually a normal city day. But getting around a place like this is different than some people are used to. Come on, let me show you how it's done. I'm at home. And today, I'm gonna visit my friend Maliha. Maliha lives in another borough here in the city. Oh, what's a borough? A borough is a small urban town inside of the city. New York has 5 of them. They are Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island. These are all the boroughs that make up New York City. I live in the borough of Brooklyn, and Maliha lives in the borough of Manhattan. I'm still trying to figure out how I can meet up with her. Our moms are taking us to a child's-friendly nail salon to get mani-pedis. That means that we can get our nails all sparkly, smooth, and shiny. We have a 3 o'clock appointment. Now, if we have an appointment, that means that we have to be somewhere on time. Living in the city, we have a lot of options for modes for transportation. Transportation is a way from getting here to there. You can help me figure out the best way to get to Maliha's so we can make our appointment. Now, there are about 5 different modes of transportation. First, there's a ferry. A ferry is a boat that takes people short distances across small bodies of water. But there's no boat that stops in front of my house or hers, so I guess the ferry's out. Okay, next idea. Oh look, here's some bikes we can rent right here on the street. Now, let's look at that map again. Now, Maliha lives about 19 miles from me. That's about 100,320 feet, and over a body of water. Sounds exhausting. If I have an appointment at 3, and it's already 12 o'clock, then I think I have to go a bit faster than this bike will take me. Plus, I'm not that good anyway. Ooh, that looks like it might work. Let's run to the bus. I can take a bus here. This is a New York City bus stop. Oh wait, look at the numbers before the letters. These letters let you know what borough you're in. B is for Brooklyn and Maliha lives in Manhattan. Oh well, I guess I can't take this bus either. This bus doesn't go to Maliha's. Anyways, the city bus can get caught in traffic too. And time is important today. So how can we get to Maliha's? Not by ferry, not by bike. The bus is out, so what's left? Looks like the only thing we can take is a taxi or the train. Both a taxi and a train can get me to Maliha's fast so we can make our appointment. So what should I do? Let's go see how much a cab can cost. How much does it cost to take a ride from Brooklyn to Harlem?
Well, it goes by the meter, so give or take maybe $60.
60 bucks? I'm not gonna pay 60 bucks. The train is only $2.75 and fast. What do you think? Do you want to take the New York City train? Yeah, me too. Let's go. A train in New York is also called a subway because it travels underground. And to get on the subway, you need a Metro card today. Got my Metro card. Now I swipe my Metro card here, and it allows me to get into the train station. This is where you wait for the train. And this line tells you when you're too close to the edge of the platform. This is a good time to call Maliha and let her know we're on our way.
Hey, Patience.
Hey, Maliha. I'm on my way to you right now.
Really? That's great.
When I get to your house, we can get a cab and make our appointment.
Okay, see you soon.
See you soon. Are you ready to catch a cab?
We're gonna have to hail a cab if you want one to stop. $120 in Lennox, please. We're here! And we're on time!
Oh, so what have we learned today? We've learned about the 5 boroughs, we've learned some transportation words, and we learned how to get around the city. And all by 3 o'clock.
They're ready for us now.
Yay! Thank you for helping me find the best mode of transportation to get here. Bye!
Oh my gosh. Yay, Hercules, Hercules. Now I saw you laughing during that screening. What were you smiling about?
It's so cringy to me. Because it's me, it's so cringy to watch it.
Don't say that. You did wonderfully. We got a comment here. It says, I did not know this about New York. How did I get this old and not know what a borough is? It's something that we end up just knowing. I watched Little House on the Prairie, and they were talking about that one day. They were teaching them the boroughs. I was like, oh, New York City. Oh, the boroughs. So tell me about that experience of shooting that webisode. She was like 12. I think you were like 12 years old. But what's a highlight from that experience for you?
The highlight was going to get food after. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, that is something that you like about New York City. And whether people know it or not, there's Urban Girls Travel. It's the book that talks about the travel, but we have Urban Girls Dine, Urban Girls Play. I've been saying I'm going to bring them out since she was a little girl, but I promise I'm going to do it. But dining is a thing in New York, like being around places of food and fabulousness. We do just love it. So I really am happy that you had that experience with making the webisode and Urban Girl Adventures. Now, do you remember this moment? Because this was huge. Where were we? And those ladies aren't just holding those books. They purchased all those books, correct?
Yeah. This was at the Harold Washington Library, I believe.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Yeah, they said they wanted all the books. That's really all I remember about it, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got another comment here. It says, that was so good. I wanted to be on the trip with them. Young Anthony, this dude, young Anthony, what's his name? Bourdain's, whatever. Go ahead on, travel in the city with us. But thanks, Andrew. But you were in the library. We had, I think in February 2018, we had the opportunity to bring the Soulful Chicago Book Fair in the Harold Washington Library and recreate it, right? And my daughter was one of the presenters for this particular weekend. But boy, did these ladies just love the book and bought the whole shebang. I mean, I don't even know if you had any left. They probably, I don't know, maybe they bought it for their students or whatever. But I just love that you had that experience and, were there with us in the library. Now, what is this a picture of, Patience?
Me touching a statue. I remember doing this. I don't remember why, but
so I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all see, I used to have her decked out in the colors, decked out with all the colors of the world. She's matching the statue. And I used to have those cowrie shells in her hair, like, girl, your hair is full of money. But anyway, like I said, she has Urban Girls Travel, which is the book that's out now. But then she has Urban Girls See City Art, and it talks about the art in the city. So this is a part of that book that'll be coming out. This was another part. This is on 125th Street, right on Fifth Avenue. Why are you laughing at yourself? You're such an exciting girl. But yeah, this was another part of that, being in the city and, just seeing art. So that's a big thing because we have all kinds of murals and statues. And so that'll be coming out. I would love for it to come out for August. We'll see if I'll make that happen. So this was also a part of the exhibit at the Harold Washington Library. You could see she's older, but we still were featuring Urban Girl Adventures. And let me see if this is do you remember what this was here? This speaking engagement. This was actually here in Chicago, and they wanted Patience to do a speaking engagement about her book to young people there. And so this is her talking about the book and also the young girls who bought the book. So even though you don't remember the incident, what would you say about the inside of the book? Like, how is it made up? What is it made up of?
Made up of, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, it's a combination of things. So you were 7, so it's not like you really wrote the whole book.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote it, but then.
Yeah, I took all of the photos that I wasn't in, clearly, but yeah.
Right. And so this was your first published work. That's the important thing to know. Like, this is your when she said I'm a published photographer, I think we even had that up earlier, that she's a published photographer. This is her first published work, but we're going to see coming up some of her published work of today, of these days. And so we'll come back to this in a minute. But before we go to commercial break, what would you like to see for the future of Urban Girl Adventures?
I don't really know. I was just thinking, watching that webisode, how like I personally can't make another one because I'm old. But I was like, maybe we could find somebody else to do another one because although cringy, it was informational. So
yeah, it was good. And I mean, I think it was like PBS level, if you ask me. But I do know we had an audition once of young girls. And so I think we'll probably do something like that, do an audition and have them come through. So what we're going to do, guys, is come back and look at how this is all transitioned into now. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also 3 sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all. Race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're 3 Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 3 Black Moms.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I love talking to her in the private chat. It's so funny. But anyway, so the world evolves. Urban Girl Adventures started the process, and now we are into the world of patience. Now, photography, you talked a little bit earlier about we come from a line of photographers, and I love how we found that out. We were at an event and I wanted her to sing because Patience could sing. I would put her on the spot right now, but I'm not. But they were like, you're acting like your mother forced you to come up here. And she was like, yes, she did. I was like, but she was in part of the photography competition that they were doing. And it was when they had to talk about it a little bit that we found out, like, wait a minute, we actually come from a line of photographers. My dad was a photographer. One of my brothers is a photographer. My dad's dad was a photographer. I went to school for radio, TV, film, and of course, knew the photography gift to her. So love that. But want to look at some of your current work, because what are you doing now with your photography? What you're doing? Not necessarily the projects, but you're just doing it at home as a hobby, or you're learning to do it professionally. What you doing?
Yeah, so I'm in school for photography. Right now, I see my I see myself as a fashion editorial photographer. And yeah, I'm pretty much just focusing on that, and that's what I'm doing in school. So
What school you go to, Peg?
I go to Columbia.
Okay, she goes to Columbia here in Chicago. And you can see her work, the fabulousness. I do love, I want you to share a little bit about your focus, because you talked about early in your college career what your focus was in terms of Black people and what you expressed to your professor. Do you remember what you said about that in terms of your focus and wanting to focus on Black people?
Um, I think it was just like I usually photograph Black people because most of the time we're not seen in the best light. So I want to bring out the beauty within Black people and just like show that. But yeah.
Okay, and because she's older, we have a little provocativeness here, a little, to not too much, but But I love what I'm gonna say this about just school in general. I'm really happy that you're benefiting from it, because college is a thing, but I love that you're really learning things that are going to help you enhance the craft. And so when you guys look at some of this work, you can look at the lighting of it. I love some of the lighting techniques. I love sort of your eye in terms of placement. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned in terms of how you light a thing and what you see when you're lighting your subjects.
I think lighting is pretty much what I've learned the most about here. Um, I feel like I'm really strong at lighting, and teachers have told me that I'm really good at when it comes to lighting. Um, I think lighting can transform a photo. So when I think about a photo shoot, that's one of the things that I am really like focused on, is like, how am I gonna light this? What lighting am I trying to achieve? But yeah.
Okay. And let me just go to another one. I love these. You had an idea, and I just was like, Hercules, 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 when you came up with this idea about specifically Black men. Um, what made you want to focus on the brothers?
Um, I don't know. I think maybe because I just didn't take many photos of black men. I mean, I did back then, but I know now it's mostly women. So I feel like I could get back to that. I just would have to think stuff up because I feel like when I'm thinking of photo shoots now, I'm thinking of how I can like make a woman more beautiful, but I feel like I can figure out how to do that with men as well. But
Yeah. I know at one point she talked about doing a coffee table book of black men. I'm always promoting that, but you can't control the artist. But I think your focus on brothers is really good, and I think it does tremendous by the brothers. We got another comment here. Uh-oh. It says, now we got to have that next webisode, Patience. We gonna get it. He said, "You're not old at all. Look at Eva Longorio and Stan Tucci touring Mexico and Italy. They're in their 50s and 60s. Let's go with the webisodes." All right, Andrew, we gonna go with the webisodes. We'll do the auditions and get those rolling. Thank you so much for being here and for commenting. I want to just look at a little bit more of your work. Now, this I loved. What in the world? How did you learn to do this? This is obviously the same person. But what is this effect that you were able to create to put them all in the same photo?
literally, this was from a class, and we had to do a Photoshop like assignment. This is the only thing I knew how to do in Photoshop, and I like took hours from watching a video like step by step because personally, I feel like Photoshop is extremely hard for me. So I have to really like sit down and do it step by step. So I mean, this is the first thing I've ever really like accomplished with Photoshop, and you know what? Hey, still proud of it because it's like I can't. I literally Photoshop is like not one of my strong suits, but yeah, it was. We had to put three of a person in a shot and like put it together seamlessly, and this is like the most seamless I've gotten. Something.
Okay. You better than me because I literally took a whole Photoshop class and I don't remember anything. I cannot do it. I cannot help you with your homework on that one. So you definitely did way better than I did. Now, talk a little bit about this work. Lovely victory there in the purple. What do you call this? Is this a double exposure shot? Like, how are you able to create this effect?
That's not double exposure. It's just in a mirror, and the
Oh,
mirror is
wow.
like it's like one of those mirrors that's kind of like slanted at the sides of it, like it's cut.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I just took the picture on the cut part of the mirror.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm glad you even saw that because I'm like double exposure. Patience said, it's not double exposure. Shows you who's the expert. And then this picture here, I know this is a picture that was in your recent gallery showing that you did. It was a gallery showing called For Women by Women. Is this the picture that you said got so many views on social media?
Yeah, this pretty much whole shoot it got like 5,000 views on Instagram.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's nice. Uh-oh, you got a fan. He talking about that's dope. I want a shot like that. Good. Let's find the mirror. Cool. All right, good. Yeah, I love the new work. And I love that you stepped out. I mean, I love your focusing on Black women because I think it's so necessary. But I loved you showing that you could step out and even create art here. Not only was it lighting, but like her hair. I'm like, how you get her hair to do that? But to capture it, and to show the motion in a still shot is so dope. This is what makes you. This is like your third time being published because they created a book of your work, and I really just love the fact that they created a book and that your work is in there. Love that you have a website and a place where they can go and people can go and book your services.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I want to just show your website because I was looking at other people, guys, and their pages, and where it said website, it was like nothing there. But I think we see here's her website here, And if you go to the portfolio, you can go to portraits of people. And I just love, love, love all of the shots of these wonderful. I love this model. This was your roommate, right?
Hmm.
Like in your freshman year?
That was like sophomore year.
Okay. So I just love the collection, love these shots. These are the shots that were in the gallery.
Sorry, that's Alexa.
Oh, okay. Tell your Alexa to stop talking. I know that's right. These are shots that you did at night, which is amazing because of the lack of ability to see at night and do the shot. What inspired this shot? This shoot. What inspired it?
I had a. I don't think this was for a class, but it was like there's a fashion trend going on now. Like it's called office siren. So it's just based on. I mean, the 2000s, early 2000s is kind of vintage to us now, but it's like early 2000s women's office wear, how it was like really tight, seductive, like secretary-esque, but like with a sex appeal. So when if you see that type of clothing, I thought to bring it to the beach because to play off of the siren part and like she's like a mermaid and her home is the beach, but she's coming from work and that's the office part. So yeah.
Oh, there she go in her office.
Yeah.
The
So
office siren. Yeah, I was looking at the lace like, oh, I don't know an office person like that, but
yeah.
definitely love the work, love the colors, love the images. Now, what do your peers say about your photography? Because one of the things that's unique about your work is that it's a lot of young people in it. And what have your peers said about your work?
Everybody usually really likes what I do. Anytime I'm in class or anything, they always are like, "Oh, your work is so amazing." Thank you. But yeah, I mainly work with younger people just because I just know how to interact with younger people better. I feel like with like the way my personality really is, I feel like it's less awkward with younger people and like yeah, I just know how to connect with younger people better than older people most of the time, but yeah.
Oh, good. You got a wow. She is really good. She's a really good photographer. I'm impressed. Yeah, Paige. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We love that. But you know how to interact with us older people. Did y'all hear her say the 2000s is vintage?
That's what people say now.
You're bugging right now. It bugged me out when she told me that I'm an older parent than her peers. I was like, what? I'm an older parent? That just was funny to me. But yeah, I do love, love, love your work. And I love that you focus on young people, particularly because our young people are underrepresented. And I think you have something here because look at the light that you put our young people in, male and female, and the fact that you put them in colors, you put them looking to the sky, you give the brothers a smile, and we love a brother smiling. Gotta make a brother smile. Wonderful. But yeah, I just love some of your work, and I wanted to show some other of your pieces here. Now this is you at your two of your events, the same event, well, last year and this year, but it was called the For Women by Women event. And talk a little bit about last year. Look at last year's guy. They had her pictures on the wall. They weren't even supposed to be that big, but they ended up asking you to do that, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
So I was originally gonna make them, or because they printed them themselves, and so I was originally gonna just say they could do like 13 by 19, which is how big the ones on the left are.
Okay.
And then she got back to me and was like, "Can we just like make these bigger?" So I was like, "Sure, how big?" And then she said how big it was, but I didn't really think about how big that was because I don't really print that big. So I was like, wow. And I didn't know I was gonna get a whole wall. I didn't know they were gonna be that big. I didn't know. So yeah, it was nice.
I'm so happy. Y'all should have seen me, boy. I was a proud mama. I was like Hercules, Hercules. And I love her work this year as well, even though it was smaller prints, but it still made an impact. People really still communicated that they that they love the work that you were doing. If you want to see the website, it's at the bottom, you guys, patiencephotography.com, scrolling at the bottom. And if you want to call and talk to us before we leave this stage today, I'm going to put the number up so that you can see there as well. That's 727-731-5192 if you want to call in. But y'all could leave your comments if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook streaming live, either one. But I'm going to leave that website up there for a minute so that y'all can go to it and peruse it at your leisure. And so love that you were at that gallery, Patience. I mean, how does it feel to say that you've been in a gallery, like your artwork is in a gallery? Like that's a big thing. That's a big accomplishment.
It's nice. I mean, I'm not very much of an expressive person, but it was nice to especially see the bigger ones. It was just interesting because I never really like show my work printed or like in a gallery setting, so it was just nice to have a lot of people that I didn't know or talk to really like just compliment me on how beautiful my work was.
Cool. We got some comments. Grand Rising from a seasoned vintage vet. Thank you for sharing your journey. Go ahead, Zelda. Thank you, my love. And then she put, as a retired photojournalist, I see your beauty, brilliance, and boldness. Phenomenal young lady. That's you. Go ahead, girl. Phenomenal young lady. And y'all can see her pictures there on. Look, you see me being a momager back there, right? I'm telling you, I'm a clown, and I'm glad you know your mom's a clown. Oh, look at this. Good Lord, poor baby. Don't know what old is. 2000s is vintage. What? Age ain't nothing but a number, Patience. Stay forever young because you can. But of course, thank you, Andrew, for commenting. So, Peg, looking at your work today and she doesn't do just people. She also does nature and cities. Now, this is one of my favorite. You see that picture of that coyote on the ice? That was such a great capture. Do you remember that moment?
Yes.
Do you remember how I was?
No, I don't.
Look, let me tell y'all. I was like, it's a dog on the ice. It's a dog on the ice. Get the camera. I was like, get the camera. But the fact that she got it. So we live on the lake, and the lake had frozen. But this coyote, that's not a dog, right? Ain't no dog walking on no ice. That coyote was on the ice going about his business and doing a little house on the prairie, like I got to get where I got to go. And so I loved you capturing that shot. When you go to her website, you'll also see pictures of nature. She has a page on Facebook called, what's that book called? Botanic Beats. And because on her beat home from school, she used to just take pictures of flowers. And so there's a whole collection of flowers that she did as a photographer. And then these are some of the city shots that I just thought were great. Did you use any kind of filters on these? Like, how did you capture the colors with the clouds or you just caught those moments?
Yeah, these ones are older, so they're pretty edited. Not pretty edited, but like it's a darker filter on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, but what were you when you saw? What do you see when you're seeing these cityscapes? What are you seeing with your eye?
I don't really know. I just feel like if something's picture worthy, I just take a picture of it. Like, I don't know.
Well, what we see in your work are shapes, reflections. I think your composition is great in terms of how you utilize the space of the image. And so you don't see like a whole bunch of space at the top and then a little picture, at the bottom in the corner. Like you really utilize the space of the shot well. And I do love that. Now, this is something that I would definitely want to share. You actually taught photography recently, correct?
Indeed.
Yeah, talk about that.
So I had it was a class, and I basically taught youth photography. I mean, I feel like doing that now, I feel like I could have a better understanding on how to teach at least older kids, because I do work with younger children on a day to day, and it's pretty different than working with high schoolers, because it's just like they are almost my age, so it's like it's a different type of person. But I mean, it was interesting. I feel like they were I feel like they were bored for most of the time. But I think that's only because I mean they're just teenagers, and I feel like one of the days we did like a kind of like mock photo shoot thing. So we just tested out lighting and posing and taking pictures of each other. I feel like that was the most effective one. But I just think like next time I need to really plan that out more, because I feel like they were interested when you're actually doing something in the studio, or like actually working and actually taking photos, rather than like learning the specifics of a camera. And I mean, now looking back at when I'm in class, that was boring too. So I don't even know why I did that. But yeah, if I could get like more equipment or something, I'd be fine with teaching them that, because it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, you have theory and you have practice. Theory and practical when you're a teacher. And I'm gonna tell you, I'll be trying to tell her to come to me, but she don't kind of. I'm just saying. But the theory is that teaching the camera what the parts are, but the practical is what the hands-on. That's always a better way to teach. Talk a little bit about this, because you had this picture on display. Also, I used to go to work and pass this every day, look in the window and see it. I was like, that's my daughter's work. I love it. Talk about this piece, and what was your focus here?
I actually forgot this was posted in the window, but um, it's really just, what did I do this for? I actually cannot remember, but I think it was for one of my lighting classes, and it was like for our final, and I normally stick to like really colorful photos, or at least I used to. Um, and so I had like a stylist come in and like style the outfit. And yeah, but I just wanted to stick to color for that final and have different colors for each model I used. And yeah.
I love that, and I love this. Um, Focus. What was your idea here? Just love, love, love this too much.
Well, for the model in the photo before, I did like this type of lighting where it's kind of like backlit. And it came out really good to me, and I really liked it. So I just tried it again with her. And yeah, and like I just played around with posing and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I love the shapes in this. I love the shapes. I love the lighting. And so, yeah, I think you're onto something in terms of how you portray youth in our community. We have the ability to be aesthetic, to be attractive. There's so much. I mean, you have so much to offer in terms of the type of work you do. What do you see for your future in terms of photography? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
I definitely want my own studio. I want to work with magazines. I feel like for the work I do now, it's like really magazine forward and really editorial, and you can see it on a cover. But yeah, I really want to work with magazines. I want my own studio so I don't have to book with the school. Um, and yeah, I just want to be able to make a lot of money off of off of being a photographer. So yeah, and
Cool.
I mean it's just what I like to do. I feel like when I have a vision and it comes to life and I'm like seeing it come to fruition, I feel like I really enjoy the feeling that gives me. So
Right, because you just did a shoot this past this weekend, and what was the concept of that?
it's like in my class we had to do like our own editorial concept and like what we wanted to do. So I decided to do like a birthday kind of thing, but like if you would see it in a magazine. So yeah, it's like a birthday editorial, and it's like streamers and birthday hats and cake and all that good stuff. So
Okay,
yeah.
we got a question here. Had you ever thought about photographing pets? Photographing pets?
No, it was never a thought for me. I mean, I can, but I mean, I usually just like my main focus is usually people because I can pose them how I want to pose them. And like, I feel like in my head, I already like when I think of a concept, I am thinking about posing. I'm thinking about how they would look in the concept, finding models that will fit my concept. So I feel like with pets, I mean, cute. I'll do a pet shoot. It's just like I have less creativity in my mind for a pet photo shoot than I would have with a person.
Might be something to think about. A pet shoot. People love their pets, my dear, and you just be surprised. Now, look at this. Somebody giving you Andrew giving you stats. Are you open to that? He said there are 87 million cat owners and 85 million dog owners. We are a tribe of our own. Get ready. We'll call you about that. What would you say? And we got like a minute left. What would you say? I guess a message that you want to give to whatever group you feel needs to hear you and what you represent.
I think as a young person, just if you have a passion, just do it. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something or that it's not going to make any money, because it can. Like, there are photographers making hundreds of thousands of dollars off one shoot, off one day. So it's like, just do what you want to do. And you could like post something on TikTok and it could go viral and change your life. So it's like, just do what you want to do. And yeah, you never know.
You never know and you always know. Thank you so much for being here today, Patience. I know you got to go to class right after this, but thank you for spending time with us. You guys, thank you for being here with us on Gathering of the Griots once again. And we'll see you next Tuesday with more excellence of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. Take peace and write down August 9th. That's when we're coming to you live. Have a good one. Peace. Have a good one, Paige.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.